Hi, this is Sarah Goodson of 3 Beats Consulting, and we are here for part 3, the third question in this 3-part series on practical energy management. I will link to episode 1 and 2 below so you can get caught up before this third one. And before I share what the question is, I just want to make a quick note, which is that I so appreciate those of you who have taken the time to reach out and shared about the process of implementing these questions and the very rich learning that you're having as a result. I think that it's just remarkable for those of you who are in the game of trying new things when it comes to your time and energy. And it's one thing to have information. It's another thing to put that information into action. So for those of you who are doing that, I just acknowledge you. Please keep sharing about what it is that you're learning and how this is working for you. Because I really do think that any person slowing down to ask these questions really is in a process of changing their life. And that's what I hope for you, that it changes your life for the better. So as we get into this third and final question, question 1 is this a gut check, yes or no? Question 2, does this thing take me closer to or farther away from who I want to be and where I want to go? If both those questions are a yes, the last and final question is this: given everything that is on my plate, is now the right time? Now, I myself personally, this is the one that I rub up against the most, because I think we live in a culture that not only is on demand, but really capitalizes on FOMO, this idea of fear of missing out. And we live in a society where we can have our favorite meal delivered to our doorstep within 20 or 30 minutes. We can instantaneously send information, pictures, questions to people at the snap of our fingers, right? With the hit of a button. We can connect to people on social media instantaneously by opening up Instagram or another app. And we live in a world where immediacy and on-demandness is such a regular part of our life, and human beings, and certainly our energy, don't work that way. And so as we look at where we want to invest our time, asking ourselves, is saying yes to this thing something that actually makes sense right now, given what's on my plate, is a profound question. And it's one that not very many people slow down to ask themselves. I was just listening to a podcast this week where Brene Brown, who I am a fan of, probably not surprisingly for a lot of you, she shared about how when her kids were younger, the teacher was asking if she would be a part of some event that was happening. And she said, "I can't this time, but thank you for asking. Please let me know in the future. Like, please ask again." And the teacher was so appreciative that she said no. And she said, "I appreciate you letting me know, and I will come back and ask you again." And eventually that did happen, and Brene was available and said yes. And Brene shared about how the other moms were so blown away that she had said no to this opportunity, and not just kind of gone with the default that many of them shared that they had fallen into of just saying yes. Well, of course, it's my kid's school. The teacher is asking. Of course, I'm going to say yes to this. So slowing down to look at, what have you already said yes to? Where have the minutes of your day, your week, your month already been allotted, already been committed? And is there room for more? And so again, in a society that says you are missing out if you don't say yes right now, again, going back to, what are you here to do? What are your values? And how do you want to invest your time and energy is the most valuable way that you can look at your life. And so slowing down to ask these questions, slowing down to assess your gut check, slowing down to assess if this is taking you closer to who you want to be. And lastly, slowing down to look at, is now the right time? And giving yourself permission to say no if it's not the right time, if there are other things that are taking precedent. That's really, I think, an act of great strength. So I offer that to you, that as you continue to look at the opportunities that come your way and the invitations that make their way to you, for you to slow down and attune to these 3 questions could really, truly just enhance your whole experience of life, bringing you greater joy, greater fulfillment, and certainly a much richer experience of your own life. So I want to continue to hear how you are implementing this and how you're exploring and experimenting with these questions. You can always email me at 3beatsconsulting@gmail.com. And I look forward to hearing more stories about how you are just experimenting with your yeses and your nos and where you're investing your attention. So I'm sending you all the best. Until next time.